to get the support they need, find the resources that they need so they can turn their attention into caring for their loved one so that they can have the best possible outcome.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any teams looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
Ball's moving in front. Kesselring wins it! Rex in effect!
Micaiah Benjamin Castle gets it into the box. It got all the way through. Pasio with a chance, and he puts it home.
Quick snap. Parks up the middle into the end zone for the Bruins touchdown.
Varsity Media offers sportscast coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership number
Good evening. Welcome. Canandaigua Stadium on the campus of Canandaigua Academy in Canandaigua, New York, and on the Section 5 Broadcast Network, powered by Varsity Media, along with former Canandaigua boys lacrosse coach Ed Mulhern. I'm Brian Cannell. Ed, when Fairport and Canandaigua get together, it's always a special game. Tonight's a little more special.
Yes, I think these are two communities that value lacrosse, and they're two communities. The coaching staffs are close, the kids are close, but it is highly competitive. And you bring this situation of the Litzelman Foundation into it and a battle against cancer, and it just, it's everything that's right about high school sports, and in particular high school lacrosse, and two programs that are extremely proud to represent their schools and the situation.
Well, let's get you all up to speed, because we're actually, and I say we, both Ed and I have a connection to this, but tonight is the very first annual Don Litzelman Foundation face-off against cancer game between the Gray Wolves and the Red Raiders. So let's introduce Don Litzelman to you. And, you know, I said I wasn't going to do it, but I can't. And not once in all the almost 50 years that I knew him did I ever call or refer to him as Don. My very first day on the campus at Geneseo in the dorm, I got introduced to the big guy with the lacrosse stick as Fred. It was 6 months before I even knew his name was Don. So he is and always will be Fred. But he was a 4-year starter, 3-time captain, the first 2-time All-American in Geneseo program history, where he was, by the way, a teammate of Mr. Ed Mulhern as a Geneseo Knight. He passed away of brain cancer in 2012, and a little later that year, we did start the Don Litzelman Foundation. Very small organization. Initially, I say we, true transparency, I do run the foundation and wear a couple hats. It's calling this game too. We would donate to things like the GBV Foundation, Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. We did establish a scholarship, an award in his name at West Genesee High School, where he went. And then in 2022, we decided to step it up a little bit. Had a discussion with someone who detailed his journey when his wife had been diagnosed with breast cancer in 2019 and how difficult it was. But in all reality, the sad thing is there's a lot of help available to cancer patients. The problem is they're on their own to find it. So we decided if it's research that needs to be done, it certainly could be done by anyone at any time. So we did it. So if you go to faceoffagainstcancer.org, that is our website, you will find a resource for cancer patients to find financial assistance, educational information, just a community of support. Our financial support page has 25 different organizations listed that do give financial assistance to cancer patients. So we created Face Off Against Cancer a year ago to help raise awareness of the resources. We had 4 games in upstate New York, Nazareth, Brockport, Roberts Wesleyan, as well as West Genesee High School. It's exploded to 24 games this spring, as far away as Colorado College, University of District of Columbia, Western New England University, and tonight's very special game, to which we are so grateful to Devin York, the Canandaigua coach, Mike Torelli, the Fairport coach, for them agreeing to participate in this. This is going to be an annual game. We'll be presenting the Face Off Against Cancer trophy at the end of the game to the winning school, who will keep it for the year. So that's the prelim, and we're really excited to be here. Now, that being said, on the field, Ed, we have a heck of a game in front of us.
Yes, we do. We have 2 teams that are off to a relatively good start. Canandaigua's off to a great start. They haven't lost yet. They just ran a gauntlet of 4 straight away games against Irondequoit, Corning, Jamesville DeWitt, and I'm trying to think who the 4th one was, but another high-quality team. And we're fortunate they've won all 4 those straight games. And Fairport's coming off a big win over 2 big wins in the last 3 games with Penfield. And, I just drew a blank. Oh, they beat McQuaid, defending state champions the other night. So they've got it going pretty well right now, so I'm anticipating a good game.
Yeah, Canandaigua comes in 5-0. They're number 3 in Class B in New York State. Fairport's 3-2. Canandaigua may not be happy I'm here, though, because I did call the Section 5 football championship loss they had against Brighton and the Section 5 basketball loss against East Rochester. So, for Canandaigua's sake, let's hope that 3rd time's a charm. We're going to pause now as we start before we start the game for the playing of our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would ask that everyone here please rise and remove your headwear. Before the national anthem, tonight we play to support the causes working to end cancer. As we start the game, we think of those who continue to fight the terrible disease and those who have lost their fight against cancer, including the recent passing of Billy O'Hanlon. Billy O was a sectional winner, points leader, Cornell lacrosse team captain, professional lacrosse player, and a member of the CA Sports Hall of Fame. Before we start tonight's game, please pause and remember all of those who have been impacted by cancer. Thank you. And now, if everyone would please direct their attention to the flag at the left of the scoreboard for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red flare of bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, we are back. And listen, one other thing, in common with me calling those 3 games, quite frankly, is the appearance in those games of Drew Willoughby. And it leads me to ask you as a coach about one of the things. When I spoke with Canandaigua football coach Jeff Welch prior to that game in the fall, he said one of the strengths of his team was how he loved having so many multi-sport athletes. Fairport coach Mike Torelli echoed that. There's 12 or 13 players on the Canandaigua Lacrosse team. What were your thoughts about that when you coached?
Oh, we loved it. I've always been a believer in the more participation in sports, the more opportunities to play under the gun, under pressure. It's the best for kids. You're making memories. This isn't we're not here to develop the professional athlete at this point in their life. And I think more opportunities for kids to compete, more opportunities for kids to be in competitive situations, does nothing but benefit you. In my mind, the kid was at the foul line with 1 second to go, and he's got to hit a free throw to tie or win the game. If that same boy has the ball at the end of the game in lacrosse, that pressure situation, the more they feel it, the more they've been involved in it. And on top of that, they're healthy, they're involved in a team, they're caring for one another, they're building community. And those are things that I don't know if anybody can place a value on. The old hometown hero, to me,
absolutely
is huge. And I know both these schools, we've made a living on it here in Canandaigua for years and years. And I don't know of a coach down here that feels differently.
And it's just interesting because I know Coach Torelli told me it's the first thing college coaches ask about a kid when they recruit. So, it's interesting to me. If the high school coaches love it, the college coaches love it, why do we see so many? The only thing I can assume is that the travel coaches that push them to specialize?
I think there's part of that. I think part of it is people think there's a ton of money in this, and I think people lose track of what's important and the opportunities for your child or your young athlete to participate in things, be a part of a program. Mm-hmm. It's invaluable in my mind. And these kids, irregardless of what happens today, this is a situation where they'll probably remember forever. Mm-hmm. They're playing for this first ever the Litzelman Foundation trophy. It's an opportunity, and if you decided, I want to be a football player, so I'll lift. Well, you might have got your lifting yesterday. Today's a day off. What are you doing today? There's enough time for kids to do everything.
Absolutely.
And we need more of it, and parents need to be aware of it. If you talk to most college coaches, they want to know.
Absolutely.
What are the grades? What are their sports?
So if you're watching the teams and you're familiar, you're looking at some uniforms that are rather interesting. Canandaigua's in white, and we're so grateful for them. They're wearing special uniforms in lavender trim, which is the designation for all cancers. They have the name on the back of someone each player is looking to honor. Fairport is wearing their purple jerseys, and they are playing for former player Blake Cognata, who did pass away back in 2013 from cancer. So they do this once a year also. So that's setting it up. Fairport has possession of the ball.
Nice face-off win there by number 13, Ryan Nobes. They've been kind of sharing some face-offs between him and, number 33, Ryan Knapp.
And it was Mason Depew on the face-off, number 32 for Canandaigua.
And you'll see Canandaigua was relatively aggressive defensively. They'll get out and chase you. They want to play with some pace.
There's Rob Protz taking it behind.
True.
11 minutes remaining. First quarter again. High school, 4 12-minute quarters. Mitchell Monty, the guy who leads Fairport in scoring 16 goals, 9 assists. We're going to have his name said a lot. Here's Ryan Kane. Monty again. Touched by Jack Dedrick. Takes the shot, goes wide.
Shot clock. This is the first year, for those of you that are new to this year, as far as seeing a game, they have a 90-second shot, or 60-second shot clock, I'm sorry, for the boys. And it's a little different. It's a great thing, I think.
Now, 20 to get it over midfield, correct?
Yes.
Then another 10 to get it in the box.
Yeah.
Once you do, you get it to 60.
60 seconds.
Then it goes
correct.
to 60. Okay.
Correct. That's where it's still kind of a, I don't know why they just don't put 90 up and play it that way. It'd be a lot easier, but.
Here's Jack Stanny. He gives actually to Ryan Bremer. Bremer leading scorer for Canandaigua, 14 goals, 8 assists. That's McKeegan. Shot. Stopped by Luke Ryan. Here's John Malaber. Gives to Nobes.
That'll be a big key in tonight's game is how well Fairport clears the ball. Earlier in the season, Canandaigua had a nice win against Victor, and they probably hold Victor to less than around 50% clearing percentage. Canandaigua continuously got the ball back, and that was a huge factor in the game.
Protz again behind. 5 goals and an assist this year. He's shadowed there by Jack Stanny. Moreland gives to Crowley. Crowley with the long pole on him. His pass to Monty is going to be over his head. Turnover. Canandaigua ball.
Very nice pressure by Marshall Bolster there to get his stick on the gloves of the passer, force the bad pass.
Chalacy comes cross field. Here's Dedrick. Gives to the midfielder Smith. Maddox gets it up. Face-offs and clears are a big deal, right? Possession, possession, possession.
Very much so. In a tight game, possession's the key. Canandaigua was very balanced on offense. You'll see that they have 4 or 5 kids with, 10 or more goals. They share the ball well. They move it. They play well as a team.
Nice cross crease pass. The shot is in. Drew Willoughby. 9th goal of the year for Drew. He's also got 10 assists. He is headed, we talk about multi-sport, he's headed to Division III Cortland to play both football and lacrosse this fall.
He's a great young man. He's been on the varsity lacrosse team for 4 years. He was the varsity starting quarterback for the last 3 years. He's a basketball player, heck of an athlete. One of those sport kids we love and are proud to have in the community. And great pass by Mikey Bellis. See cross field and
for Bellis, that's his 12th assist.
Yeah.
Face-off again is won by Roser. It was picked up by Jackson Perry. Crossfield pass, here's Malaber.
Malaber's a pretty composed young player. He's only a freshman, but it's his 2nd year on the varsity. I've watched some film on him, and I'm very impressed with how he handles himself, handles his stick.
Ryan Pretty behind. Max Ekdal on him. Up top, Ryan Kane. Monty watched by Will Rude. Comes out from behind over the crossbar.
That's a
It's
great
gonna stay in.
Nice smart play there.
That was a nice smart play by Pretty.
Yeah.
Knocked it between his legs. In front, Monty shot wide, backed up by Fairport.
The Monty Rude matchup's a great one. Those are two kids going to Division I with Monty's going to go to Dartmouth to join his brother, and Rudy's going down to Loyola. So you got two Division I kids going, great matchup. It's fun.
Ball pops out of Monty's stick. He recovers, but it was
shot
right out of
clock.
a trip. Or was it
Shot clock, right? Yeah. He didn't get the shot off.
Okay. Turnover, it's going to be Canandaigua ball. 6:41 left, first period.
And that's an example of a young man who's, I don't think he would have made that mistake under normal circumstances, Mitchell, as far as dropping that ball, but I think he was probably hurrying it because of the shot clock.
Did look like he was trying to shoot before he even had it.
Yeah, he was in a hurry.
Here's Ekdahl. Back to Scabelli. Far side, that's Rude. Turned over. Here's Monty.
Nice ride there by Fairport to get the ball back.
Raiders have had control, that's for sure.
Yes.
Midfielders coming on. Crowley. Protz. Protz with a short stick. Brody Shar on him. Now he's got Bolster. Gives to Liam Moreland. Puts it in front. Shot is good. I believe that was Protz.
That was a nice little play. Little two-man game. Caught Canandaigua in between the slide. Popped it into the crease, and he turned and fired. Got a little slide. They didn't fill into the backside.
It was Protz, his sixth goal of the year from Liam Moreland, his third assist of the year. With 5:37 left first quarter, it's one apiece. And once again, Roser and Depew in the face-off circle.
They're doing a great job facing off. Fairport is right now. They've been
Won
3
all
for 3.
yeah. Roser's got it. Drew Willoughby continues over midfield to check him. Willoughby plays safety football, and I don't think there's any reason he can't play some defense.
He'll play the midfield. He plays the attack.
Here's Cameron Duffy at midfield for Fairport. Gives to Maki Ferrier. Now here's Kane. 30 on the shot clock. Kane behind, watched by Willoughby. Here's Monty. Picked up by Dedrick. Ten on the shot clock.
10 on the shot clock again. They've, Canandaigua's doing a great. Oh boy.
Blocked and then saved by Scabelli. The first block was by Bolster. Done very nicely. Willoughby just runs it up. Coming up on 4 minutes left, first quarter. Bremer's out with Stanny. Stanny working on Ferrier, got the short stick. Here's Willoughby. Bellis. Nice dodge in front. He still got it. Shot blocked. Loose. We're going to have a trip.
Called loose ball push. And they reset the shot clock.
That resets it.
Yeah, and penalty will reset it like that, or yeah. I guess it's called a penalty.
Violation.
Violation. There you go.
Possession would have been a penalty, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Stanley shot from outside. Nice save by Luke Ryan.
Outstanding save. He's a very good goalie. Canandaigua's going to have to pick their spots and shoot the ball well to beat him.
Still looking to clear is Fairport, and they do get it up.
They got him with that 10-man. Nice job. Canandaigua was in 10-man ride, and they were patient with it and found the open man, did a great job.
Coach York likes to do that.
Yes, very much. High pressure, 10-man ride, and try to get the ball back. They're very good at it.
Here's Protz. Watched by Bremer. Here's Pretty. Moreland. Ooh, his pass to Monte high. It's a turnover. Here's Caden Galassi. Gets the clear up and over. 4 out of 5 is Canandaigua. Fairport's 3 for 3. Bremer again. Out there. Here's with Jack Stanny. Third midfielder, Zach Hoffman. Here's Willemie. Here's Hoffman. Bellis tried to go cross crease, but it's intercepted, picked up by Malabar.
That was really nice off-ball defense. Earlier in the game, that was the same look that Marky Bellis hit Drew Willemie for the goal. But, they learned this time. Figured it out, and here we are, Fairport with the ball, and they may run this right down to the...
They got about 7 or 8 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to be. I was waiting to see 5-6 seconds difference.
Hillier gives up to Kane. Kane watched by Trey Camella, another great two-sport athlete, terrific running back. And one of the top short-stick defensive middies.
He's very good at it, yes. He's a heck of an athlete in a line of 3 of them. He's got a brother that's a starting pole at Hobart, and another brother that's a short-stick D midi at RIT.
Ooh,
so
that's a good pedigree.
The 3 of them have been key players here in Canandaigua.
Here's Jack Gaszewski. 15 on the shot clock. He's working on Dedrick. Coming out from behind and knocked down was Mitchell Monty.
Let's see, is that going to reset the clock? Yep.
It should.
All right, so now you got 8.8 seconds to go.
Up top, it's Kane. Takes the shot. Stopped by Scabelli. That'll do it for the quarter. It's the end of quarter 1. In the very first ever face-off against Capture game for the Don Litzman Foundation, it's Canandaigua 1, Fairport 1. We'll be right back.
When my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2019, after we got a chance to finally come up with our medical plan and meet with our doctors, I had to quickly turn into caregiver mode. And one of the things that I found very quickly is that there is a lot of information on the internet, and it is not consolidated. There is no rhyme or reason to how it's organized. That's what the Don Litzman Foundation is. They are there to help people like me, help people to get the support they need, find the resources that they need so they can turn their attention into caring for their loved one so that they can have the best possible outcome.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
All right, we're tied at 1 goals by Canandaigua's Drew Willoughby and Fairport's Rob Protz. So going back to the Litzman Foundation, I'm going to say it because I know you're far too humble, but the word is you ate his lunch at practice that day at Geneseo.
I wish. Donnie Litzman was the, no doubt, the best player I've ever seen or practiced against at that point in my life. He was, and this is not a put down to anybody that's played at Geneseo or played with us or whatever, he was far and above the best player. And in today's world, he would have been a young man that at the end of his freshman year, every Division I school in the country would have been begging
He wanted to go to Cornell, supposedly.
Yes.
We may have a halftime guest who knows him very well that may dispute that.
Right.
I have been asked, how is it, he came to Geneseo? And quite frankly, we don't know. How he didn't end up at a D1, or at minimum, you're good Eddie Kohovic, another former teammate, said, how did he not end up at Hobart or Cortland?
Right.
We don't know.
We don't know. There's a lot, and he was so humble. He would never tell you differently. But something, obviously, he slipped through the cracks, and he was an unbelievable player. I came from Canandaigua, and at that point we were somewhat beginning as a program. And we were playing, there was a boy there from Henrietta who I thought was the greatest player in the world, and I get there, and he's an attackman, and I'm like, who the heck's this kid from Syracuse? And he was head and shoulders above anybody I'd ever seen. It was unbelievable.
Off the turnover, here's Willoughby.
And for those of you from Canandaigua that are listening, that Donnie is Jack Litzman's brother. Yes.
And we're hoping Jack will stop by.
Jack was a key component of our youth program back when the first few years we started it. His son Kurt was involved, and Jack was a great youth coach and just a typical Litzman, one of the finest people you'll ever meet. So hopefully he'll stop by.
Hopefully he'll stop by. That is the word.
And I won't say anything like that.
All right. Getting a ball. Here's McKeegan. Here's Bellis coming out goal line extended. I think it went off the pipe. We got a whistle. Was a crease violation probably?
Yes, it was. It was a nice little inside move. Fairport goalie held its ground well.
I would tell you, when I met, I can still see the scene where I was standing. When I met Litzman, I was in shock when he told me he played attack.
Yeah. Oh, he was.
By today's standard, he was about 6 foot 220.
Yes.
We didn't have defensemen that big in Irondequoit.
No, and he didn't. He wasn't a kid that flashed you. But, boy, he was smooth, and he didn't miss a thing.
He was slow as molasses, and that's being kind, let's say it.
He's a heck. Oh, boy, there's your 10-man goal. Canandaigua came out, brought the goalie out on the ride. Fairport did a wonderful job moving the ball back and forth, and they hit the long one.
And we were yapping, and I'm sorry. I thought we had a moment to clear, but there you go with 10:43 left in the second.
Yeah, and that is the catch-22 of the press ride.
All right, let's see. There we go.
He had that track the whole way, did a great job. One thing Canada was going to do, they've got to do, if you're going to do that, you got to be able to pressure that ball. You can't let the kid shoot it from the 30, 35-yard line without somebody running at him, making him make a move a little bit.
All right, 2-1 Fairport. Roser wants another face-off.
Yes.
He's won all 5. He's got the ball right now.
Got to settle in here and play some defense. If you're Canandaigua, if you're Fairport, you want that next goal. You want to build on the momentum. Coach Torelli and those coaches, they were excited to play today. They knew their kids had a challenge, and they were ready for it.
Here's Protz up top. Nice defense play by Maddox Smith.
Nice timeout there by Coach Torelli and the staff over at Fairport. He got 19 seconds left in shot clock. they retain possession, go in and draw something up and hopefully get a goal here, get a good opportunity.
Absolutely. 2-1 Fairport. We'll keep it here for just a second. So we were talking about Litzelman.
Yep.
When he graduated, he had the records for goals in a game, season, and career, as well as points in a season and career. And I don't know if you know, but his record for career goals was just broken. Jimmy Atkinson.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago.
Right.
It stood for 40-plus years. But today they play, 16, 17
I was just going to say, in today's world.
What'd you play, a dozen?
Donnie did that in probably 46 to 48 games.
Right.
And that's no put down to anybody else, believe me. But, numbers are the numbers. And, Donnie did it. Probably points per game, Donnie's still up there. And goals per game, whatever it may be. But, he was I had the pleasure of, road trips and things like that, and with him, bus rides. And he might have been the nicest, kindest, most humble person you'll ever meet, too. That's what a lot of people, I think most people would tell you what a great player he is, but man, he was every bit of the person. Which brings me to, Canandaigua was mourning the loss of alumni Billy O'Hanlon right now. We lost him this week, and Billy was a great player, graduated in '86. Was a two-time All-League player. He's a heck of a player on a great team. Went down to Cornell and played all 4 years there, was a captain in '90. Went to 2 national championships, and we lost Billy O this week after a tough battle due to some complications from his surgery, but he's in our thoughts and in our minds and our prayers. And on a night like this where we're celebrating Donnie, hey, Billy,
absolutely
thinking about you too, buddy. Love you. Billy O was a special kid, and he was loved by everybody that knew him. For those of you that know Billy, that's the type of person Donnie Litzelman was.
All right, we were supposed to make fun of him a little bit more.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Now, back to the game. Enough mush, right?
Here's Rob Protz.
And now they're down to, 5 seconds left. You got to come out of that thing.
And it got blocked.
Yeah, hit the defender.
It hit Jack Diedrich in the leg.
Right.
So, maybe I'm sure he's glad to have caused the shot clock violation, but that one hurt.
And that's an example right there of, they took the shot, and it wasn't necessarily a high-quality shot, but there was somewhat of a screen there. And if that doesn't hit number 8 and it squeezes between his legs, that puts the goalie in a tough bind. You don't always see those. I give them credit for taking the chance. A lot of teams just roll it to the corner, which I understand.
So did that count as a reset? I'm a little confused.
I don't think it should. I think
that's what I'm wondering.
The refs, they had to get together.
Thank you.
The one ref,
crazy.
I'm guessing his angle wasn't as good as the others. But you got 3 fine officials tonight. And,
I'm thinking it wasn't a save. It was out on the perimeters, which should have just been a shot clock. Okay.
Yes. So they got together and they got it right.
Scabella gives it near side. Here's Rude. He's got a lot of real estate in front of him. Pretty comes over, but not in time, so he gets it up over the midfield. Still with it. Rude is watched there by Mark Hillier. Now he gives it up to Mike Bellis. He's staying in the offensive end, though.
Yeah,
here's Rude right in front, beautifully. That's Ryan Bremer.
Will Rude handles his stick as well as a lot of attackmen and middies, so he's dangerous at all times. And they did a great job there. He brought it behind. Little flip, and he found the guy in the crease wide open. And I think that happens. He's as dangerous as any middies. And
I'm sorry.
Well, go ahead.
Bremer's team-high 15th goal. That's the second assist of the year for Will Rude.
Yeah.
Will Rude has 3 goals.
Right, and I think subconsciously when you see a pole doing that, you ease up a little bit thinking, oh, he'll let up, and he's dangerous at all times.
Back in the face-off circle. Boy, Rozier is 6 for 6.
Yeah, he is quick on it tonight. He's all over it, doing a great job.
Gives to Pretty. Watched by Bolster. Uses a screen from Andrew Crowley. Pretty still with it. Now gives to Crowley. Crawley's got 4 goals this year. Here's Ryan Kane. In the crease, Pretty puts it in.
Very nice play.
That's a beautiful play. That's Ryan Pretty. 3rd goal of the year. That feed came from Jack Gaszewski. That is his first assist of the season.
They did an outstanding job drawing a little slide. Got 2 to play 1. They moved it, and they had a Canandaigua slid off the crease. Somebody filled right behind it. They did a great job. Great. It was really nice. Tic-tac-toe lacrosse.
3-2 Red Raiders. 8:15 left, second period. Once again, Depew and Roser. Whistle.
I called withholding. They said that Fairport face-off kid was holding the ball down instead of getting it out of his stick quickly, which I'm guessing the Fairport face-off kid won't agree with.
Here's Willoughby. Standing up top. Now he goes to Sturman. A.J. Sturman. On the wing, Bellis. Stanny. Ooh, shot saved by Ryan. Rebound picked up by Bellis. Here's Willoughby. Another great stop by Ryan.
He's really seeing the ball well. Don't know what the call was there. Give it back to Fairport.
I thought he had interfered with us. What I thought where they were calling.
I don't know what it was. Something off ball.
See, if you don't know, I feel much better.
I didn't see it. I was watching the goalie, and
I thought maybe the Canandaigua player had touched it when the goalie had it in the crease. But okay.
Irregardless, Fairport goalie playing outstanding.
Yes.
Right now, he's Luke Ryan's just playing really, really well. He's seeing the ball, and you're not going to get anything cheap on him.
Sandy takes the short stick, nose behind, now gives to Bellis on the wing. Shot from outside by Ryan Bremer.
Outstanding shot by Ryan. Put in that top corner. That's a very, very hard save for a goalie to make.
His 2nd of the game, 16th of the season. Makes it 3-3 with just under 7 minutes left in the second quarter. No change in the faceoff circle. It's still going to be Rozier.
The last one, Lucas Depew was able to tie him up a little bit and make it a 3-on-3. He went early there. Yeah.
Second straight.
2 in a row, and you're going to...
Are there any rules about number of violations?
No, unfortunately. I would love to see that in the high school game. Similar to what they do with the college, where in college, if that you got to change your face-off kit the next time.
Right.
And then I think if on the 3rd time as a team, it's a 30-second penalty.
Here's Bellis on the wing. Shot goes wide. That's backed up by Bolster.
Again, Canada with long stick.
Yeah.
Here he is making some plays behind.
We got a flag flying against Fairport.
First penalty of the night.
Pass to Stanny is wide. I don't know if he's going to get there. He's not. So first penalty of the night. First man-up opportunity is going to go to Canandaigua.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about long poles. 2 weeks ago, it was a Sports Center top 10. Brady Custra, Roberts Wesley, and long pole scored behind his back.
Oh, really?
Have you ever seen that?
Occasionally,
okay.
Will Rood had an opportunity of JD where he put it behind his back the other day and missed it by a couple inches. But in today's world, these defensemen carry the ball like Mason Bolster. He was a varsity attackman as an 8th grader. He made the transition to defense, and so he's got a great stick. He's got a great mind for the game. And he just loves playing defense. Canandaigua in a 3-3, you can see there, looking for a skip pass.
It was deflected by the defenseman for Fairport, Sean Pretty. So I knew there was a Sean Pretty. They're the brothers. 11 is Sean, 21 is Ryan. Here's Bellis, who buries it.
He did a great job of shooting that around the defender, I believe is number 32, that was closing out to him. Kind of brought the stick around it, and that's very tough on the goalie to see.
Bellis first of the game to go with an assist, his 11th of the season.
If you can see this on the replay, when he catches it, the defenseman comes, and he wraps it right around his body. Kind of hides it, and that's very tough on a goalie.
Sure, he can't really see that.
And especially when you put it on the far corner like he did. They capitalized on the penalty. And I don't know what happened. The penalty didn't get released, so that's got to be a mistake. Yeah, it did. All right.
All still loose. And it is picked up by Canandaigua's Chase Willoughby.
That is Drew's younger brother.
Much bigger.
Yeah, I was going to say not smaller.
He is a big guy playing on the defense.
And this is where Fairport's got to be careful. Canandaigua has the ability to go on a 4 or 5 goal spurt. They did that at Victor. They did it at JD. At JD, they were down 8-4. And then I think they scored like the next 5 in a row. Ended up scoring 18 goals.
Here's Ryan Bremer. Goes up top to Stanny. Again, Zach Hoffman, the third midfielder on that line. Stanny, ball's knocked loose. Now picked up by Ryan. We're going to have a penalty against Canandaigua.
We're going to have a penalty against number 1, probably unnecessary. So now Fairport's got to, they just broke the press again.
And there's Ryan Pretty.
Broke the right again. And they're going to be a man up, I believe. Again, the 10-man ride, once you get it over, when you've brought your goalie out, you're gambling. And if they make 2 or 3 good passes like that, it's very tough on the back end.
Pretty second of the game, 4th of the season. Makes it 4 apiece with 4:27 left, second quarter.
They must have been a 30-second penalty. They picked
so
the
they
flag
waved it
up,
off.
Waved it off. Must have been a 30-second. If it's a 1-minute penalty, he would have been gone and they'd be facing off, man up. But 30-second gets waved off because of the goal.
All right, 4 apiece. Once again, Roser and Depew. And Depew does win this one.
He won it, but that's a great timeout by the Canandaigua staff. Timing is everything, right?
Timing is everything. All right, we were talking about some of these kids going off to school, and it's an outstanding list. For Canandaigua, Ben Adams is going to go to Tiffin, Mike Bellis to Canisius, Will Rude to Loyola, goalkeeper Evan Scabelli to Scranton, Jack Stanley to Clarkson, Ryan Bremer to RIT. That's an impressive place. We talked about Drew Willoughby playing football and lacrosse at Cortland. Now, Mason Depew, according to Coach York, has not picked a school, but he's got a choice because he can do lacrosse, football, or wrestling.
Yeah, he's got a lot of opportunities out there. He's got he's in a wonderful position. He's a great young man. He's got some good grades, and he's got some, great schools that are interested in him.
Now, Fairport also. Andrew Crowley's going to play at Oswego. McKee Ferrier at Mount Union. We talked about Mitchell Monty joining his brother Jackson at Dartmouth. Rob Protz, St. John Fisher. Goalkeeper Luke Ryan going to West Point. Cameron Shearer to Oswego. And Coach Mike Torelli's youngest, Ryan Torelli, will be going to Brockport.
It's hard for me. I remember when Ryan was born. I've been around Mike, and I've been friends for years. I remember he was born, and now he's grown up and going on to college.
And in your mind, he's what, 5?
Oh, golly, yeah. When he was young, they used to call him Squishy, and he's grown up into be a big young man and an outstanding player and a better person. He's a great kid. And, you talk about the goalie playing well. Well, he's going to West Point, which is one of the top lacrosse schools in the country. And Coach Alberici and the boys down there, it's a special place.
Now, it's former coach of yours at Geneseo.
Yeah, Mac.
D'Ange went there for years,
Mac,
right?
Mac was there for years. We visited, I myself and the staff, I took the staff down a few times. I went a couple times myself, too. We went down and stayed, spent the day there a couple times to just soak up all the knowledge we could from them. And Mac was, he was outstanding with us. And it was, it's a special place with, any young man or woman that goes there. You're dedicating your life to the United States, and it's a much bigger cause. Impressive place.
Gray Wolves ball. Here's Bremer. Watched by Patty Kogovic. Here's A.J. Sturman. Here's Willamy. 40 on the shot clock. Stanny. Up top to Willamy. On the double team. Gives up to Bremer. Behind is Bellis. Cross crease on the wing. Stanny wide, backed up by Bellis with 17 on the shot clock.
And they was really looking for that skip pass. They're doing a nice job with that. They got a goal out of it, and that was a nice opportunity. Here comes an out-of-bounds play. Well defended.
Ooh, Bellis' pass high to Stanny.
Yeah.
It's going to be a turnover.
That was outstanding individual defense there by number 32 for Fairport. That was a really good job by Cameron Shear. He manned up and took Mr. Bellis on and forced a turnover.
But Bellis has got some quickness.
He does. He's another one of the boys. He's his brother. He's the third in the line of two other brothers. One's at Canisius, one played at Bonnie's, and he's going to Canisius. One's at Mercyhurst now. So another family of three boys coming through. He's the last, just like the Camellas.
All right, Coach Mike Torelli calls timeout with 3:06 remaining second quarter. We'll be right back.
When my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2019, after we got a chance to finally come up with our medical plan and meet with our doctors, I had to quickly turn into caregiver mode. And one of the things that I found very quickly is that there is a lot of information on the internet, and it is not consolidated. There is no rhyme or reason to how it's organized. That's what the Don Litzelman Foundation is. They are there to help people like me, help people to get the support they need, find the resources that they need so they can turn their attention into caring for their loved one so that they can have the best possible outcome.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
We are back at Canandaigua Stadium, 4-4 with 3:06 left second quarter. During the first annual Don Litzelman Foundation face-off against cancer game between the Gray Wolves and the Fairport Red Raiders. Here's Crowley, watched by Bolster. Kane now across to Moreland. Kane again.
When they throw it towards me, it's real easy to just pan down. It's when they go left to right where it gets a little tricky.
Oh, that's a tough pass there.
Pass picked up by Maddox Smith.
Oh, cool.
Smith, another football player for Canandaigua.
You can switch off. That was cool. Thanks.
Here's Bellis. Watched by Cameron Shear.
And that's a tough turnover if you're Fairport right there. You call timeout. You're just, kind of moving the ball around a bit, getting a feel for what's going on, and then, you just have kind of an unforced turnover.
Here's Bremer. And again, Will Rude, the long pole, staying on the offense, and Bremer puts it in. Third goal of the game, 17th of the season for Ryan Bremer.
He's got nice stick skills, good dodger, and he has that, tuck, quick release, puts it in a wonderful spot.
Yeah, goalkeeper can't do anything about that.
No, there's nothing, when you're the goalie like that and they're coming in for 5-6 yards away, you don't have any help in front of you, you're in trouble. And if they're quality shots, it's really, really hard. He may make a couple saves, but there he goes.
Oh, Depew had his stick knocked out of his hand, actually, by Jackson Perry. And it's going to go Canandaigua's way.
He blew the whistle. He went the wrong way with
his.
Now
it's going Fairport's way.
Once the stick gets knocked out of your hands, you got to kind of just stay totally away from it. And if you go near the ball, then you're considered playing without a stick, and that's what happened there. It's very tough to do when it happens to you.
Here's Rob Protz. Watched by Maddox Smith. Gives to Monte. Ooh, his pass a little off. It is recovered. And here's Pretty. Ball checked out of his stick. And here's Maddox Smith. Ooh, his pass was low to Max Ekdahl, out of bounds. That's a turnover.
There you go.
Here's Kane.
Fairport's just got to tighten up their stick work a little bit. The last 2 times down, they've kind of thrown the ball away on relatively unforced errors.
Kane is watched by the short stick Trey Camella. Gets it back from Protz. Mitchell Monty. He's got some quickness too.
Yes, he does.
Double team, still with it.
And now he's got a shorty on him, which he's going to like. But see, he's trying to get.
It is Trey Camella.
Yeah.
20 on the shot clock.
He's trying to get his hands free for right. He had a great look. He just didn't cash on it.
He had Goszewski in the crease, but perhaps just a little bit high. And here comes Bolster on the clear.
And now you got to kill 5 seconds.
Bolster shot wide. I was going to say, I thought Luke Ryan beat Bremer to the ball. He backed it up. So turnover, Fairport ball. And that is the end of the. Boy, he put that on goal. Pretty good.
Cage, didn't he?
All right, first half is in the books. It is Canandaigua 5 and Fairport 4. 3 goals for Ryan Bremer. Mike Bellis and Drew Willamy, the others for Fairport, a couple for Ryan Pretty. Rob Protz and John Malabar, the others for Fairport. 5-4. Go grab a snack and a drink. We may be back, hopefully, with a couple guests or one during halftime. But we'll chat in a minute, but go take a quick break. We'll be right back.
When my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2019, after we got a chance to finally come up with our medical plan and meet with our doctors, I had to quickly turn into caregiver mode. And one of the things that I found very quickly is that there's a lot of information on the internet, and it is not consolidated. There is no rhyme or reason to how it's organized. That's what the Don Litzelman Foundation is. They are there to help people like me, help people to get the support they need, find the resources that they need so they can turn their attention into caring for their loved one, so that they can have the best possible outcome.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any teams looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
Ball's moving in front. Kesselring wins it! Rex in effect!
Micaiah Benjamin Castle gets it into the box. It got all the way through. Pasio with a chance, and he puts it home.
Quick snap. Parks up the middle into the end zone for the Bruins touchdown.
Varsity Media offers sportscast coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
When my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2019, after we got a chance to finally come up with our medical plan and meet with our doctors, I had to quickly turn into caregiver mode. And one of the things that I found very quickly is that there's a lot of information on the internet, and it is not consolidated. There is no rhyme or reason to how it's organized. That's what the Don Litzelman Foundation is. They are there to help people like me, help people to get the support they need, find the resources that they need so they can turn their attention into caring for their loved one, so that they can have the best possible outcome.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any teams looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
Ball's moving in front. Kesselring wins it! Rex in effect!
Micaiah Benjamin Castle gets it into the box. It got all the way through. Pasio with a chance, and he puts it home.
Quick snap. Parks up the middle into the end zone for the Bruins touchdown.
Varsity Media offers sportscast coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Got a compliment from some of the fans.
Welcome back to Canandaigua Stadium. We are on the campus of Canandaigua Academy in Canandaigua, New York, and on the Section 5 broadcast network powered by Varsity Media. And again, along with former Canandaigua coach Ed Mulhern, I'm Brian Cannell. It's 5-4 Canandaigua at halftime of the first annual Don Litzelman Foundation's Face-Off Against Cancer campaign. And again, let's talk a little bit about the foundation. Visit, if you or anyone you know has cancer, please visit faceoffagainstcancer.org. There's 25 different organizations there who do give some kind of financial support to cancer patients. That may be in a direct grant, it may be paying bills, providing transportation, lodging. Just check out each of the individual organizations listed. There is a button that says additional info, and it's probably worthwhile checking that first because it may tell you whether or not that organization is for you or not. But don't hesitate to check out the educational support section. There's links to medical and clinical information in 22 different categories. And then the community of support section, quite frankly, is a list of organizations that do provide programs, services, inspiration, motivation that aren't financial or medical. And, you know, we kid and we talked a little bit about Litzelman earlier, and I can tell you for all the accomplishments on the field, we do this because of who he was and what he meant to us,
Absolutely.
not because of what he did on the field. Listen, it's easier because of what he did on the field. I mean, he was a floor mate of mine and fellow founding father of the Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity, and yeah, it really has. It has to do with his love of the game. Listen, I will tell you, he told me he actually wished he'd become a teacher so he could have coached high school lacrosse.
Actually, when we ran into one another after, leaving school and things, and I was with his brother Jack, and Donnie was around, and he was saying he wished that he had done that.
I will tell you, one of another fraternity brother of ours had gone up to New Hampshire where he lived and coached his sons, and apparently Fred had a little disagreement with an official. And the official apparently said something along the lines of, "You don't know anything about lacrosse," and turned away, to which, Fred's eyes rose a little.
Yeah.
The official had no idea who he was talking to.
Well, and Donnie had he played with a little fire in the belly. He was a competitor. And, I'm sure that carried on when he left the game and was watching his kids play.
Let me tell you, we saw some still pictures of his sons in their helmets. It was startling because looking back at us,
it's funny that
it was him.
That genetics, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you mentioned his nephew Kurt. Boy,
Yes.
right in the Litzelman line, boy, they look just like each other.
And Curdy was a great young man, just an outstanding kid. Great face-off, nice pickup by Drew Willemie.
By Drew Willemie.
And that's a nice back check by 12. Great job by the young Mr. Malabar.
And on the turnover, it's going to go to Fairport.
What's a penalty in Canandaigua? Was it Cruz?
1-goal lead for the Grey Wolves. Goalkeeper Ryan with it.
Fairport wants to keep this game tight. You know, Canandaigua hasn't really been in, well, the Victor game, they went up
9-6, I believe that was.
Yeah, and they went up big, and Victor fought back a little bit. So it's, you know, they probably want to get them in a tight game and see how they respond.
And JD was a 3-goal lead, correct?
Yeah. And JD was a closer game than yes.
But I know Rondequoit was, what, 16-4?
Yeah, and they were up 10 early. It was, you know, they want to put them in a situation where they got to play under pressure. You know.
Here's Protz up top to Kane. Both teams done a good job of clearing. I have 6 out of 7 for Fairport.
Very nice job there.
Pretty up top. Again, Protz on the wing. 40 on the shot clock. Crowley, watched by Stanny. Skip pass to Protz. Ekdahl almost knocked it down. 25 on the shot clock. Mitchell Monty.
A lot of the perimeter type stuff here. Trying to play a little two-man game here. Cause a little commotion.
Ooh, the pass to Crowley high. It's going to be a turnover.
Those are just the turnovers that you hate to see as a coach. 'Cause, you know, he really wasn't. He was just throwing the ball up to keep it moving. It wasn't, you know, a pass into the crease or something for a scoring opportunity. Those are tough.
Bremer 3 goals today.
And he's got some nice hips, the way he just moves and flows like that. And he also, for those of you that, any youngsters out there, if you watch number 19 play, you'll have a hard time telling if he's right-handed or left-handed. He really handles the stick both ways.
And the long stick bolster still there playing a little offense. Mark Hillier on him. Well, he's got some speed, too.
He's a quick little booger with
nice
great
pass
vision.
up top. Stanny hits the pipe.
Yeah, they reset the shot clock, so if you're Canandaigua, if you don't get it quick, that's, maybe a trip? No.
Wow.
Thought that might be a trip.
That's picked up by Ryan Torelli. Yeah, I'm a little surprised that wasn't.
That was a really nice job by Ryan Torelli once they didn't call that to get it out of there and find.
Torelli gets it back from goalkeeper Ryan. Nice pass to Protz over in midfield. Another good clear for the Red Raiders. That was a surprising non-call.
Yeah. Yes, it looked like a trip. But an outstanding look from Mason. Bolster up top. Canada had a nice opportunity at the pipe.
Crowley's passed a little high to Moreland, and it's picked up by Willoughby. Turnover is going to be tough for Fairport. Here's Bellis. Cross crease for Olvani. No. We'd have a push.
Yeah.
Ball's going to Fairport.
You know, Fairport's dodged a couple bullets, but they gotta get straightened out here with their stick work. They had 2 or 3 times in the last 5 minutes or so of the third quarter. Now the first couple minutes here, where they're just kind of turning the ball over. You know, for just making normal passes. Get that straightened out, and they're right in the, going to get a chance to win this game.
Here's Ryan Pretty behind.
Oh, nice change of direction.
Tried to go cross crease to Goszewski, a little high, but it is Kane did not save it. I thought he did.
Yeah. Now that's an error, where you're trying. You're pushing that ball across crease. That's a great opportunity. As a coach, you live with those. That was a great opportunity, great effort. It's the ones where you're just moving the ball along.
Oh, sweet. Better than nothing, knowing that we need.
We got an offside.
Offsides. Canandaigua was offside.
No? Okay.
Mallory goes across.
Oh, absolutely.
Shear Gets it up to Moreland, who runs it up over midfield.
Got a slash on Drew Willoughby for, I don't believe it wasn't Drew. Might have been, I don't know who, Bellis?
Bellis
over there.
Side
Bellis was there.
Ball knocked down and taken away. But then we're going to have the whistle for the penalty.
Yeah, and as a coach, too, there's a penalty that you don't really like to see because when you're getting slashing penalties in the offensive end of the field, that can be frustrating, and, you just got to keep your head, give up the clear, and move on to the next play.
7:20 left, third quarter. Here's Pretty. Gets it back from Gushevsky. A little bit around the horn. Marlins pass is high to Cade.
Yeah.
Another turnover.
When you're just throwing it down below. Got to move your feet, get out a little wider if you're under pressure.
Here's Camella.
Great ride by the kids from Fairport. The whole crew.
Gushevsky. Pretty trying to come up with it. Does.
Okay, you got 20 seconds if you're Fairport. You got to move it.
Ferrier.
Yeah. They may not have their man-up group out there now. So we got 13.
Gushevsky to Ferrier. Crawley, far wing. Gets it back. Takes the shot. Backed up by Gushevsky.
Now you're all even.
27 on the shot clock. Gushevsky working on Diedrich. Gives to Ferrier. 15 on the shot clock. Crowley takes the long shot. It's backed up by Fairport, but two.
They took that due to the shot clock. Now they're going to throw it to the corner and get their ride set up.
Here's Scabelli. Will Rude. Coming up on 5.5 minutes left, third quarter. Still a 1-goal lead for Canandaigua. Rude drops it. Ball's still loose. He's got it. And gets it to Drew Willoughby.
Throw it down. Up. They're getting settled. Get the right people on the field. Take a little breather.
Sean Pretty's on Willoughby. Malibu now on the switch.
That's good defense. Good job by Drew to keep the ball moving.
Here's Stanley up top.
Jack likes to invert a lot. Bring the short stick behind.
He's watched by Ben White. Ooh, he loses him. On the crease for Bremer. Skip for Bellis. Left-handed shot rolls in, but the refs are conferring.
This will be interesting. See what they got.
Luke Ryan immediately turned to the official, gesturing about something. The ball did roll in.
Yeah.
It's a goal. Let's see. Here's Bellis.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely went in. I'm not sure what he was gesturing about.
Right. I don't know if the shot clock went off. So it was right at the end of the shot clock. Looked like it went in with about 1 second left.
Second goal of the game for Bellis, 12th of the year. 6-4 Canandaigua. I thought I heard a horn, but it was after the ball went off.
Yes, and
went in.
Yeah, and it was the shot clock.
That's 4 straight face-off wins for Mason Depew. And a quick timeout by Canandaigua. 4:17 left, third quarter. I mean, just your quick observations overall of what you've seen.
Well, I think, Fairport's done a pretty good job of controlling the ball at times, but they've thrown the ball unforced errors multiple times, and they're not getting chances at the offensive end. Defensively, Canandaigua's doing a nice job against them. They're really forcing them to, find somebody to beat, and I think they're struggling to find that guy. The offensive end for the Canandaigua Gray Wolves, they're moving the ball pretty well. They're getting some quality opportunities. They've hit a pipe or two. Defensively, Fairport's playing them tough. They're doing a great job. It's, a pretty evenly played game. I think this is the first 2-goal lead of the day, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So it's right about where. I think Fairport's. I'm not saying they're happy, but last week they took it on the chin pretty good against West Jenny, and I think that then they rebounded and turned around and beat McQuaid. So sometimes, they're fighting hard and they're giving everything they've got. There's no mistakes out here, for laziness or things. They're just struggling with their stick work a little bit. Very impressed though with the effort both teams are giving, and quite honestly, maybe a little bit of the difference is the last 6-8 minutes have been Mason DePew won 3 or 4 faceoffs in a row too.
Yeah, 4 in a row after Roser had won the first 6. There were a couple violations in there.
Correct, but
Mitch Monty, quiet.
Very quiet. I think they've, Will Root's done a great job on him. Canandaigua's done a great job on not only shutting him down, but they're shutting down his ability to, deliver the ball inside to wide open people. They're covering up inside and doing a great job defensively.
Here's Rude. Finds Camella up over midfield. Standing up top with Bremer, who now has it. 3 goals for Ryan. Under 4 minutes left, third quarter.
His next goal is a big one. The difference in a 2 and a 3 goal lead is huge if you're on both ends. When you're behind and when you're ahead. 2 goals is 1 mistake and you're right back to a 1 goal opportunity. 3 goals gives you a little bit of breathing room.
Ballas up top. 22 on the shot clock. Bremer. Watched by Kugovin. Gets away, has an opportunity, fires high. Backed up by Olvania of Canandaigua. 3 on the shot clock. Toss it in the corner, are they going to try something?
I would guess that they're emptying the field, they're tossing it.
There it is.
Yeah.
You do this to set up your ride, give your team an opportunity to get set.
Correct.
And try to prevent them from clearing. Now, again, Fairport's done a good job. I've got them as 9 out of 10.
They've done a very nice job clearing the ball, and they're very patient with it. They're moving the ball from side to side.
Here's Malabar. McKeegan there on the ride with Olvani and Bellis, the front 3.
Suckers a kick in the grass.
At midfield, the ball dropped by Protz, but he does regain it.
Gotta mention that a few times in broadcast.
Here's Moreland. So again, you have 20 seconds to get over midfield. From there, you have 10 seconds to get in the box. Once you do, the shot clock goes to 60.
Shot clock goes to 60.
First year.
Yep.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I think it's a yes, I do. I think the girls are a little simpler. They get it 90 seconds once the ball's turned over, and then every shot is every time it's reset, it's set to 60.
And they have another turnover.
Just turning over, and they just the pressure. They're struggling to throw and catch with a little pressure on their hands.
Maddox Smith runs it up over midfield.
They just keep giving the ball back to Canandaigua like this sooner or later.
Yeah, they're too strong in offense to give so many opportunities.
You keep giving the ball back to quality teams, and now they're getting beat out of the box.
That's McKeegan behind. Now Willemy on the wing. Shot wide. Backed up by Canandaigua. 1:39 remains in the third quarter. 41 on the shot clock. Bellis watched by Shear. Oh, he's quick.
And you'll notice he's a strong young man. He spent a lot of time in the weight room.
All right, Jack Stanley made a great catch on that.
Yeah, he handled a bad pass well. And then he shot the ball to that lower corner. A really nice job by Jack.
First goal of the day to go with an assist. It's his 12th of the year, second assist of the game. Mike Bellis now 2 goals, 2 assists. Bellis' 13th assist of the year. And there's that 3-goal lead.
Yep, he did a great job with that one hopper. And then he put it to that far pipe. It was just a really nice play all around.
Good decision by Bellis. I mean,
yes.
Stanley was wide open.
Very good
the pass
decision.
was just a little bit low.
You know, he looked through the crease, saw the guy up top. You know, and the pass was reasonable. And he found a way to catch it and finish it.
Roser gets another face-off win. He's won 7 of 11, all of them against Mason Depew.
Yep. Done a nice job tonight on that.
Again, there were a few violations on either side, but that's the head-to-head there. Here's Ryan Pretty. Watched by Caden Galacy. Up top, it's Protz now. We're under a minute to play, third quarter. Protz watched by Ekdahl. Kane swings to Crowley. Root is on him. 30 seconds, 19 on the shot clock. Kane watched by Camella. Behind for Monty. Avoids Bolster off the crossbar. Boy, that's a race. It is won by Fairport.
That should be a reset of the shot clock.
Oh, yeah, hit the crossbar. They didn't reset it.
No.
There goes the horn. Are we missing something? Because
no, I think they missed it. I don't know what happened.
Fairport didn't. I thought it hit the crossbar. If it didn't hit the crossbar, he saved it. Either way, it should have been a reset, correct?
You would think so.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of the quarter.
Oh.
But that's 15 seconds. Well, yeah, about 15 seconds that they could have had.
I think they just missed it. You know, and all three of them missed it.
It hit something.
It hit, yeah.
So whether it was the goalkeeper's stick or the crossbar. All right, we're through 3.
It definitely. I thought it was crossbar for sure. But.
All right, 12 minutes left in this one. It's Canandaigua 7 and Fairport 4. And again, please, if you or anyone you know has cancer, please visit faceoffagainstcancer.org. That's a resource for cancer patients and their loved ones to find financial assistance, educational information, and just a community of support. And if you go to the Face Off Against Cancer page, you're going to see a list of all the games and teams that have been involved. And believe me, a huge thank you to both Fairport and Canandaigua. We're excited to be doing this on an annual basis. There's a lot of shirts you're going to see on the page. Listen, if you're interested in any of them and you haven't been able to get to a game, please just go ahead and send us a message through the website, and we'll manage to get you one. We've got some really cool shirts that we've done for a lot of different schools, as well as our own Face Off Against Cancer shirt with a crossed hockey and lacrosse stick. But check it out. But most importantly, please use it as a resource to find help for anyone that you know or love who does have cancer. So again, we've been talking about the guy who started all this, and Don Litzelman. I had never seen an attackman that big play like that.
No, he had.
He was so damn slow. So I mean,
he had some unbelievable skills and vision.
I will tell you, a man you know and have faced, his high school coach, Mike Messer. When I asked, to describe Fred as a player, and if you know Coach Messer, 30 words are not necessarily what 6 will do. And all he said was big and strong with outstanding skills. And I thought that is the most perfect description I've ever heard.
He really was. And a special player, special person. So fortunate in my life he's one of those guys I spent some time with, and I consider myself blessed because of it.
It's we get to, listen, we make fun. We do say if we stop taking shots at him, he might think we stop loving him. So we do that, but we also do this selfishly to keep him with us.
Right. And he'd be right here busting right back with us.
Mason Depew does win that faceoff. Canandaigua possession. That's, as this goes on, Fairport's going to have a tough time without getting the ball.
But one thing, if you looked at it, Canandaigua was averaging 15 goals a game. So defensively, if you're Fairport, you're relatively happy. But, they've been Fairport. I think Fairport's been about 7, and they're struggling to get it going.
Yeah.
And you just wonder where the goals are going to come from at some point. They're playing relatively good defense.
Nice passing opportunity
Very
for
nice.
Willoughby up over the crossbar, backed up by Canandaigua. 27 on the shot clock. Boy, he was open.
He was open, and Drew's a right-hander, and he handled that well with his left hand. But if you take one more step and, you tell the kids that all you got to do is throw the goalie something he can't catch. That's a great play.
Patrick Alvaney took it himself.
Outstanding play.
From behind, first of the game, 14th of the year.
Patrick's a young man, a sophomore. He's got good skills, and he's a tough young man. And look at, he accepted that challenge of a defender on him, ran by him, absorbed the check. And now if you're Fairport, you're a little worried that this thing could get tipped. They've got to find a way to get the ball, get a couple goals, make it interesting again, and put some pressure back on Canandaigua.
I believe there is a penalty on Fairport.
Well,
I thought they made the suit. No, am I wrong?
Oh, there's somebody running off the field. Yeah,
there was a flag on the field. They picked up.
They got 44 for 1 minute according to the clock.
Yes, because he went over, and I'm watching, and he did signal the goal and then a penalty. That's Ryan Torelli.
Now that face-off right there is huge.
Huge for
Fairport, because now they can hold the ball a little bit maybe and kill the 54 seconds left on this penalty.
That's the third penalty of the game. That's Canandaigua was successful. Their only other man-up opportunity. Fairport was not. So we'll see if you're right. Fairport can kill most of this, right?
Well, you would hope they could here. Yeah, they got 60 seconds once they get it in.
Oh, they can kill it all, yeah.
So they can kill it. Depends on how aggressive Coach York, Coach Daney want to be over there, whether they come out and double them and try to get the ball back or whether they just play some good, solid defense. I don't know what they'll choose. But if they choose to double them, they're going to put Fairport right back under pressure. And, I would imagine Canandaigua will try to turn it over and get their man-up group out there as fast as they can.
Boy, we're talking about the Jamesville DeWitt game and how everything clicked for Canandaigua, and that Patrick Alvaney just scored. In the 18-15 win over JD on Tuesday, Patrick Alvaney had 5 goals.
He did an outstanding job. He's just he's a sophomore. He's getting better and better, and he's been around the game for a long time, as is most of these Canandaigua kids. He's playing well. He's playing with confidence.
And Drew Willoughby had 3 goals, 3 assists. Ryan Brimmer, 3 goals and 2 assists. Now, 7-6 win over McQuaid. You were talking about Fairport. That was on Tuesday. Mitch Monty had 6 goals and an assist, and Luke Ryan had 14 saves.
Yes.
That's a lot of saves.
That is a lot of saves. You look around, there's some really good goalies, and, I to be honest with you, he's probably stopped 3-4 outstanding shots on Canandaigua, and he's been really, really good.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens here. Consequently, on the other end, the Canandaigua goalie hasn't really been tested much.
No, Scavelli's not done a lot.
He's played well. He hasn't had the opportunity to. He hasn't had to make it.
Right. All right, so Fairport's going to have the ball. 54 seconds remains on the penalty.
Here they are with the double with Bolster and Rude, so they're going to go at it aggressively.
Let's see what Mitchell Monty does.
If Mitchell can beat these two, a lot of times that causes.
He beat him all right.
Like right there.
Opportunity down the alley. Decides not, and that probably a good decision. It
Yes.
looked like he couldn't get his hands free.
Yeah, that was a nice move by him. Kept his feet moving and strong, ran through the checks.
Well, and he realized his main goal is to kill the clock.
Yes, he's just, they're hoping to get the ball back with 10, 12 seconds left. From Canandaigua's standpoint now, though, you've put a lot of pressure on him, and quite honestly, hopefully you've tired him out a little bit for the next minute that he can't. He's getting his rest now, though.
10 left in the penalty. Monty's just standing there. 20 on the shot clock, so you're right, they'll still have some time.
Yeah, they got a little bit of time, but they're going to have to push it and be ready right away. Like right now, you can't stand and wait 10 seconds because there it goes.
All right, even strength.
Yeah, but,
Monty on Rude. He backhands it wide, but the horn did go off. But they killed the penalty.
They did.
Although we're under 10 minutes now, and they're down 4.
Yeah, but.
Bolster. Gets it to Bremer. I'm not sure what that was. Do you
Called
know?
offsides, I believe.
A little late, no?
I didn't see it, but see now you got to play with a little sense of urgency if you're Fairport.
Now we're going to have a man-up opportunity coming up for Fairport.
They got to take a few chances. You can't take a minute off the clock every time. That's a nice check.
Pretty, but Rude checked it out of his stick, and we're going to get the penalty. So it's a big opportunity for the Red Raiders to go man up. It's a 1 minute slashing penalty. It looks like it is to Caden Lacey.
Now you got to get it going here if you're Fairport. If you're Canandaigua, you play good, solid man down, make them beat you from 8, 10 yards out. And if they do, you live with it.
Here's Pretty behind. Moreland up top.
Okay, and Canandaigua's in a shutoff now. They're playing 18 man-to-man, not letting them catch the ball.
Trey Camella.
Yeah.
Is on Monty man-to-man.
You know what you're trying to confuse Fairport a little bit. My hunch is Fairport's had this happen to them this year before, given the success that Mitch Monty's had.
They take it away, and here's
take it away. Now it's
Bolster. And they were successful killing its only previous man down situation. There's Ryan Bremer. 4 seconds left on the penalty. Here's Rude. Even strength. Drew Willoughby, 50 on the shot clock. Jack Stanny. Watched by Kane, the short stick.
So you take it behind. They're going to use as much clock unless something comes quickly, but they're going to. Clock's their friend right now if you're Canandaigua.
Coming up on 7.5 minutes left. 4-goal lead for the Grey Wolves.
Oh, is it his friendly?
Bellis gives up to Bremer.
Yeah.
What a cross-crease pass to Bellis.
Nice shot, great pass.
Let's see if we can take a look. I believe that was from Jack Stanny.
I believe you're correct.
Son of the mom that I walked in with.
Yes. Yeah. And Bellis drove it on. 3rd goal of the game, 13th of the season.
Let's go, Mace.
For Bellis, 2nd assist today. 6th of the year for Jack Stanny.
Just great vision by Jack to see through that.
9-4. Canandaigua, 7:29 left.
Yeah, seriously. Right.
Finally, possession comes down to Cameron Shear of Fairport.
Oh, really?
Jack's grown up around lacrosse. His brother Kyle is a defensive coordinator and was a outstanding player on our 2009 state championship team. Jack was just a youngster being carried around down there, and here he is now as a senior, just playing great and, just an outstanding young man. Fairport's just really struggling to find an opening.
Ooh, that pass misses. Gashevsky goes to midfield. Or it's picked up by Alvaney.
Nice pass.
Wide open Mike Bellis, who puts it home. Then collides with Luke Ryan. Bellis is fourth. On a feed from Alvaney. Boy, Mike Bellis, 4 goals, 2 assists today. His 14th of the season. First assist today for Alvaney to go with a goal, his 2nd of the season.
And Patrick Alvaney did a great job there. He picked the ball up and he ran. And he, until the defender committed to him, then he threw it down to Belly, and Belly finished it.
He also tiptoed along that midfield line. The defender was smartly tried to push him off sides.
He was right up there tight.
He knew what was happening. He was made sure that he danced and didn't step over the line.
Real good field awareness.
Yeah.
And then he didn't give the ball up too late, didn't give it up too early. He drew. A real bright spot today for Fairport's been the face-off. They're doing a great job there. They're just, struggling at the offensive end.
10 out of 15 for Rozier.
2 of their goals that they scored were off the 10-man ride where they, 6-on-6 and man-up situations. They just have had that struggle to get it, to find somebody and beat somebody.
Protz has it behind.
See, now Canandaigua's got a shorty on Mitchell Monty, and they were shutting him off there. They're trying to take him out of the game.
Under 6 minutes left now. Here's Kane. Coming out from behind is Pretty. Gets the stick knocked out of his hand. Ball's loose. Monty's got a shot. Score!
You know what? Mitchell Monty's very aware there of what was going on, wasn't he?
And, well, you can't keep him off forever.
He found that they were shutting him off, so the guy shutting him off had his back to the ball. You can see here, and all of a sudden, I think that's Trey Camella maybe. The ball's down. Trey doesn't see it. All of a sudden.
It is Trey.
Yep. That was very nicely,
17th goal of the season for Mitchell Monty.
Nice scrap goal there, You love to see that for kids.
Here again, this is the great equalizer in this sport, is the faceoff.
It absolutely is. If all of a sudden, you can win one and go down and score again, you make things interesting. And there you are. It's out in front. You just never know.
Malabar's got it.
But again, they've got to play with a sense of urgency. You don't have a lot of time. You got to really push it at the goal and make things happen. Get a shot, draw a penalty.
Here's Kane, watched by Galassi. Ryan Pretty. Coming up on 5 minutes left. Crawley up top. Bolster on him. On the switch, it's Rude. Mitchell Monty. Bolster backs off a little bit. 10 on the shot clock.
I would imagine Canandaigua was going to slide early here. Well, down to the shot clock situation again.
Monty goal line extended. Takes the shot. No. Did not hit the crossbar, so that's a shot clock violation. That's a lot of time they let go by.
It really was,
I don't mean to say let go, but you know what I mean.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a long pass upfield for Ekdahl. He's got it.
Yeah, but,
Gives to Galassi. Bremer to Stanny. Mulvaney behind, coming up on 4 minutes left in a 10-5 game. Canandaigua ahead. Mulvaney behind.
Nice save.
Shot by Stanny. Great save by Ryan. Ball loose.
That's just a penalty that Fairport had right there that you might be a little bit of frustration on their end, but there you are. You make a save, you got the ball back, and you give it back to Canandaigua because of a push.
No possession, so it's just a violation.
Just a
Turnover
violation.
to Canandaigua, but that resets the shot clock.
Yes, it does. And, you had the ball, you had a chance, you defended them. Now you got to defend them another minute.
I mean, at this point, they can run off a quarter of what's left of the clock.
Yeah.
Oh, Scalesi stopped by Ryan. Cameron Shear crossfield for Malabar. There's Hillier. Nobes.
Yeah.
Watched by Willoughby.
So even now they're taking up so much time just setting the ball up and getting ready, and everything's hard for them at the offensive end right now.
Crowley up top.
Here you are with 40 seconds to go, and they're just getting a midi on the field.
Ferrier. Behind. 30 on the shot clock. His pass to Protz way over his head. It's going to stay in field, but it's picked up by Patrick Alvaney.
Again, and he's got him in a mixer here.
Unsettled situation for Canandaigua. Alvaney shot and scores.
Very nice composure by the young fella.
Second goal of the game, 15th of the season. We just sat here looking at it 6-4.
Yes. And
saying that was the first 2-goal lead, and now it's 11-5.
And Canandaigua has that ability. They have this spurt ability. They play well between the restraining lines, and they move the ball very well when they get down in tight. They're very unselfish, and they've been cashing in on their opportunities.
2:21 left. It's 11-5 Canandaigua.
Canandaigua's making a goalie change. Bringing in Quentin Shudrick. Played the last 2.5 minutes or so.
Shudrick giving up 5.7 a game. He's got a 54.2% save percentage.
Quentin's a young man who's been around the program a while, and he's coming along. He came in the other day. They got off to a slow start. I think they were 4-0, 4-1. JD gave 7 straight goals, 8-4. Coach York, went to Quentin and put him in the game. So we're going to make a goalie change. Not necessarily anything against, Ethan Scabelli or the rest of it, the defense. It just sometimes you make a change, and the goalie is kind of that magnet, right? And kids rallied around him, and Quentin played pretty well.
I mean, anytime you're saving more than 50%, that's a good percentage.
Yeah.
Now, Fairport's Luke Ryan, 59.4.
Right. He's very good. West Point's got a good one coming down there. He's a good player.
Shudrick's tall for a goalkeeper,
he is.
No?
He's a tall young man. He's a good athlete.
That's the theme of tonight, right?
Yeah, that's what. And that. In my opinion, that's the key to a lot of high school goalies. You get an athlete in the goal,
really,
and you got a chance. It doesn't have to be the fastest kid. But give yourself an athlete. Don't take. I see a lot of youth programs will take a bigger kid that struggles, and they put them in the goal because they think that. But in the long run, give yourself an athlete, and you got a chance to. That doesn't mean that kids that aren't super athletic can't play there. They certainly can, and they can be outstanding. But just like any other position on the field. Canandaigua's made some substitutions. They got
Lucas Buck right there with it.
Yeah, they got.
There's AJ
Some
Sturman.
kids out.
Gives to Zach Hoffman. Back to Sturman.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's McKeegan.
Okay, they're backing out a little bit here. Attacking the goal. Nice back check.
That's Nobes.
That's it, and it's
ball's down, but it is picked up by
great effort by Ryan Bremer to just chase that ball down and cause another ground ball.
Here's Crowley. We're down to 56 seconds.
21 on Fairport, one of the smaller guys out there.
Moreland. Here's Protz. 40 seconds. Mitch Monty. 22 seconds wide, backed up by Gashevsky. 15 on the shot clock, 21 on the game clock.
Pretty good job right there by Chase Willoughby. The big fella's, he's got good feet for a big kid. He's a heck of a high school football player, lineman.
Protz shot wide. We're under 10, 8.5. Flag flies. I was watching the ball go out of bounds. I think
they may have gotten Chase Willoughby for he may have gotten there a step late on the hit on the shooter. Yeah, you got Chase. He got there about a couple seconds late. Coming at you hard.
Kane behind. Crowley takes the shot. Stopped by Shedrick.
That's heading to the parking lot.
That's gone. 1.5 left. So I think that's going to wrap up the very first annual Don Litzelman Foundation face-off against Cancer game. Comes out in favor of the Canandaigua Gray Wolves. 11-5 over the Fairport Red Raiders. 4 goals for Mike Bellis. He also had a couple of assists. 3 for Ryan Bremer, 2 for Patrick Alvaney, Drew Willie-Mee. Jack Stanley had the other goals. 2 goals for Ryan Pretty, Rob Protz, Mitchell Monty, and John Malabar had the others for Fairport. Canandaigua goes to 6-0. Again, they're number 3 in Class B in New York State. Their next up is Tuesday, 6:15 at Spencerport. Fairport drops to 3-3. Their next up is Tuesday at the Grease Storm at 5:30. Ed, thank you very much. Any last words on what you saw?
Two great teams battling their hearts out, playing for a bigger cause tonight, and I think everybody's a winner.
All right. Listen, again, please, if you or anyone you know has cancer, please visit faceoffagainstcancer.org. It's a resource for you to find financial assistance, educational information, just a community of support. So for former Canandaigua coach Ed Mulhern, I'm Brian Kidallen on the Section 5 Broadcast Network. Have a great night.